Not a bean. Nothing. Got up one morning and the road's blocked.
Before it used to be very, very busy. We're really nice, beautiful. We see life in the street, like you see cars passing by from different areas.
I think it was temporary, and then when I really see that this thing is really not moving, brother, it's like, oh, it's gonna happen, what's gonna happen?
And what we see is, I'm afraid to say, white middle class people getting what they want.
How have they blocked the road?
LTNs.
Yeah, what's that? What's the
Low traffic neighbourhood.
Since the lockdown, yeah, and they implement this blockage here, it just made the place a bit, I don't know, just different. Cars don't come on the road anymore. Customers don't really come on the road anymore, really.
They didn't ask us, they sent us letters why we've been closing down on the lockdown. And a normal letter, nothing like special about it. I mean, but I mean, we didn't take it serious. We thought maybe just, we didn't take it serious. And then, boom, you've got a few days later, blockage everywhere. The first thing they start with is cameras.
I think it's become an ideology. It's a lot to do with the London Cycling Club in London, who have spent 20 years in getting into pole position within councils and government. They actually sit on they're a charity so-called. They sit on many panels. They advise on how to sort of make your areas cycle safe, and so on and so forth. Nobody ever comes and talks to the people on the other side that are disabled or impoverished, or it's the way they earn their living. The way they earn their living is by driving and delivering. It's all about it's all at the wrong level, in my view anyway.
What if one of your family members is age 77, 57, can't cycle? What do you do then? Oh, let's walk. Okay, what if you've got a person in your family that's got a disability and they can't walk? They need a wheelchair. They've got issues. I know somebody that suffers with agoraphobia. What they're meant to do then? They can only go around in their cars. It's just ridiculous.
You know what it is now with this community? Nobody can be bothered to get up and do anything about it. Do you understand me? So if you organise a rally and say, right, all you neighbours come down to Brixton, because obviously there's strength in numbers, you go and then you complain. If there's enough people, like there was in Finsbury Park, they'll take them down.
If you, as I have done, speak up about inequalities of some of the other campaigns, such as low traffic neighbourhoods, no, the doors will close. As I've discovered, you will not get invited, because actually you can come to the table and you can talk, but you have to be talking about the things they want to hear.
I reckon, well, when I speak to people, right, to say to them, oh, when we have the protest, you've got to come, they'll be like, oh, what's the point? They're not going to listen to us, and that's the reason why.
Why is it that they think they will not be listened to?
Because they're black and they're not going to be taken seriously. This is the reason why. I've been told this. Oh, at the end of the day, and also, this is not our country. Why should they listen to us? The racism that is going on.
You can think about how can people, they're struggling. Not only me, even residential people, they cry. Why they close? Why they close? Everybody send the emails, petitions. And council, they promise with us 6-month trial. The 6 month is next month finish. Still no any response.
It was all it felt like it was all done kind of under the carpet kind of way. There was a few letters that got posted through the door that was, what they're planning to do, but there was no such there wasn't like a board meeting where as far as I know, where local businesses were invited for their say, and any of that. It kind of just sort of happened.
They gave us a 2-week kind of petition that we could do, which we did, but I don't think it was taken notice of much. They kind of just put the plans out and went ahead with it.
Nobody came up to me and said, oh, we're going to close Queen's Court, and they just closed it. They just closed it. They didn't say nothing why or why even. I come down here one morning and it was closed. And it was annoying.
I would normally drive down Ferndale Road, and I'd have my granddaughter with me, and that's why I drive a lot of the time as well, because she has cerebral palsy, she has a disability with her walking, sometimes she uses a wheelchair, so we need to drive.
We found out that they hadn't consulted with the disabled charities that were supposed to. They hadn't done equality impact assessments at all. They did them retrospectively, which is really a good way of operating, not. And also, the mayor put in charge of it a couple of councillors who were frankly abusive.
The reality is the council is not listening to what we're saying. They're doing whatever they want to do it on their way, on their benefit, whatever it is, we don't know it. So there's no consultation, there's nothing we've been told, and here we are, struggling.
We presented our deputation about the LGNs and how, oh my God, they only gave us 3 minutes to speak, okay?
And how long was the deputation?
3 minutes.
No, the whole...
Oh, the whole thing, about 2 hours.
And you're saying you got 3 minutes to speak?
We got 3 minutes to speak, only 3 minutes to speak on behalf of hundreds of people.
The lack of that communication, it feels like, you know, someone's already got an idea and they're going to action it no matter what.
This thing that people used to talk about systemic racism, what's that about? I get this bit now about environmental racism, but what's this systemic racism? It's like, well, how did we get to this point where, as a COVID response, they've introduced these low traffic neighborhoods, which are environmentally racist? And it's like, well, when they came to COVID and they said, well, who's most affected? And it was actually, it's the poor, it's the Black, Asian, minority, ethnic, 2 to 3 times more likely to be infected, 2 to 3 times more likely to die from COVID-19. So then the solution has to help them. And we know that air pollution has a big impact on this. If the higher the air pollution, the more likely you are to be infected, more likely you are to die. So therefore, we must be doing something to tackle the high air pollution on these busy roads where the people most at risk are disproportionately, exposed to high levels of air pollution. And yet we don't.
The council shouldn't implement something like that unless they talk to the masses. You understand me? Little consensus. Talk to the masses, referendum. You understand me? Count the votes. Count the yeses, count the noes. The winner gets their way. That's democracy. That wasn't done there. They never exercised none of that.
When they close, and after, I don't know, 2 weeks or 1 week, and they 2-3 people they come from council, and they said, one is said, I'm planner. I said, when you make the plan, you don't think about further how many people you put in the prison now. They put us in a prison now.
I was depressed and I was crying. I was like, what am I going to do? I need to get my granddaughter to school. How am I going to drive? How am I going to go and do my shopping? How am I going to do this? It's affecting my whole life. And this is what they don't understand. It affects your life.
Because it's not got a barrier, so as such that you can't get through it, you can still drive through it, you'll just get a ticket.
It's like, I come from over here, and if you're on that side, you come from over there. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a border there now. That's what they're coming out. They come out of their borders. They're putting up borders, and they're not serving no purpose apart from lying in the pocket of the council. They've got a camera up there, and the camera will find you if you drive through there. So there's nothing more to them than making a few quid.
It might create low traffic in that immediate street, but all it does is displaces the traffic. The traffic has to go somewhere. People don't drive in London for the fun of it.
But they're actually actively closing the side roads and pushing the traffic, exporting the traffic onto those main roads where we already know there's going to be a disproportionate impact on people of colour.
This is the route, okay, that I have to take. I'm taking to go and pick up my granddaughter. And when I'm coming back, there's a lot of traffic because of the LTNs. You know, you can see everything like starting to pile up alongside me.
Because of the LTN, all the traffic's focused on the main roads, which is definitely increased. So it's not like they're doing away with the traffic, they're just concentrating it into, you know, smaller areas.
The seriousness about the toxins, yeah? And the concentration of toxins, especially on food fears, yeah, is that they take lives. Yeah, pollution is taking life.
Causes cancer, increase the risk of cancer, stunts children's lung growth, increase the risk of pneumonia, bronchitis. You start reading this on, you know, mental health, neurological damage, you know, and you start reading this stuff and it's like terrifying.
What's happening now is the people in them places are suffering. You know, you live on London Road, you can't open your window. Forget opening your window, especially in the morning. You live on Bedford Road, you're not opening your window.
Are there any schools up there?
Yes.
There are schools there, and people earn their livelihoods there. They also earn their livelihoods by delivering, by ferrying things around, plumbers, etc., who are not regarded as somehow sort of, needing a benefit, shall we say.
How are you going to deliver and you're paid by how much you deliver if you've got a bloody LTN to go through? And you've got to say to yourself, well, do I deliver this or not? And that's part of me getting my money, my wage. It's, you know, it's affected, they're discriminating against working class people.
When we talk about things like LTNs and the amount of money that's going into it, communities have been crying out for this level of investment for years. But now that the money's come along, it's not being spent on what the community's been asking for decades. It's being spent on an influx of people that have been attracted to the area through the kind of gentrification that councils are imposing. And when you put that together, you can't help but feel that these measures that they're putting in is to attract more of them and to drive more of us out, because it doesn't fit in with our reality.
You have a bicycle?
No, I don't have a bicycle because I am not someone who goes office, someone who does office work. My work depends on the transportation. I'm a minicab driver.
Mostly my regular passing customer, minicab driver, working people, they come morning time and evening time, park on front of shop, come and buy milk and bread and go. Then now that's passing trade, I have a finish. I'm not saying I'm losing £1,000 because I'm running a small business. £400-500 minimum every day I'm losing.
We're okay because we own this property and we're not paying rent, because if I was paying rent, I wouldn't be here. That's the truth of it. I can't afford to be here under these current conditions. You're not going to make rent money.
It's been a bit crazy, especially the other pharmacy. It's gone down in terms of business. People can't stop outside. Disabled people can't get access.
I can't keep using this because this has got a low charge on it, so I can't keep using this. If I use this, that means I might not get back with it because the charges run out.
This might be a silly question, but they said that they want people to be more active and cycle and walk more.
Oh no, no chance for me, no. No, I couldn't walk nowhere.
So your granddaughter's school's in Waterloo?
Yes.
Why did she go to school so far?
Oh, right. So I sent her to that school because it's because of her disability and because it's a small school and they cater for children with learning disabilities and stuff. That's why she went to that school. I went to look at quite a few of them, but that's why, and they have a lift in there because, you know, with her walking and stuff. So they ticked all the right boxes for me and for her. You know, so she goes to school in Waterloo.
And you pick her up every day?
I pick her up every day.
Vast majority, over 92% of cars are owned by people who live on side roads. The problem we have is all these diesel delivery vans, and 90% of people live on side roads, so the vast majority of this, again, 90% plus, is being generated by people on side roads. So it's actually more about a lifestyle for the people on side roads, and we need to tackle that because it's already polluting the people on the main roads.
I just think the whole thing has been misconceived from the beginning. They're called little mini Hollands because in Holland they've got these schemes, as you may know. And And they're not really there to sort of make everybody's life completely impossible. They talk about it wanting to be for active movement. You know, we've all got to walk somewhere. Well, what if you can't walk? What if you do need a car? That was not taken into consideration. But ideologically, I think it is social cleansing. I'm sorry, I really don't want to say that, but that's what I think in the end I've come down to believe.
Why do you feel so strongly about that reason that it's social cleansing?
Well, I'm an East Ender. I've lived here all my life. You know, we've got multi-ethnicities around here. They're all East Enders. We all rub along together. We all get along together. And what we see is, I'm afraid to say, white middle-class people getting what they want.
Think about it. I think Notting Hill, years and years ago, there was a heavy black community there, and then they got basically pushed out. And now if you go to parts of Notting Hill, some of the houses are worth like 2-3 million quid, especially where those people used to live.
The new elect council for this area, and a lot of them have become residents in this area since becoming councillors. Yeah, they've got a plan for this area, yeah, of gentrification that doesn't include people like me.
Well, I mean, I don't really like the word, to be honest. I'm more evolution, like or progression, like things. You know, things progress. We can't just stand still. Like, you know, there has to be some sort of change, otherwise nothing moves on.
There's nothing wrong with change, but that change has to work for the benefit of existing communities. Now you think of somewhere like doing Elephant and Castle, what's happened there? Gentrification, the people that have been forced out, the existing working class communities, that hasn't worked out well for them, has it?
Imagine if I'm traveling from here to Kilburn to get jobs. Before, because I live around the corner, less than 5 minutes, I used to get customers. But now I'm traveling all the way down there, half an hour, 1 hour, whatever it is. So I'm just losing petrol, I'm losing time, I'm losing everything.
I cut wages. I stopped paying myself for so many months. I just at least I can afford to pay my staff because they've been supporting me when I was doing good. I have to keep. Then it's not their fault.
The government gives me £66 a week for looking after my mum. You know what I'm saying? I give thanks because I look after my mum for nothing. You understand me? But I can't look for work because officially I'm a carer. You know what I'm saying? So I think that in the light of them kind of situations, they kind of like try and make things easier for a man, more than try to make things harder for a man. You understand me? My girlfriend runs her own little business upstairs. She's not making much money because they've closed the road.
If they not open the road, I think maybe I'm sell this one and go home. They sit down and claim the benefit. What you can do?
It's really painful, man. I've been 8 years in this shop. I can't show you pictures from my start, man. It was nothing. It was printer shop. I swear, I come this morning, for example, 7 o'clock I'm up. At 7 o'clock and I finish 8, 9 o'clock. I put everything, all the effort, man, and on this, and then this is just happened. It's just, boom, man, it just killed us, man.
You're a hard-working man.
My whole life gone, my friend. My whole life. 19 years gone on this road.
It's destroyed families, man. It's destroying people out there now, man. It's destroyed people. These things have destroyed people. There was a lot of business on Railton Road that closed down in light of these road closures. And a lot of those businesses were predominantly black-owned businesses.
Maybe, you know, look at the stats of what they're trying to achieve, and if something's not working, if they're not on track for whatever it is they're trying to do, then maybe like consider retracting and coming about it from a different way, maybe.
More time could have been spent to take people's true opinions in a better format.
I hope some sanity has to prevail. I think that people will vote with their feet. They'll either not vote or vote for a party that says they will either take them out or review them seriously and listen to people.
This is our livelihood. If they shut down and they want to make a change, what alternative do they have for us? So where's the alternative? That's the question.
Electric cars, yeah? You can outlaw fossil fuels, yeah? You're the government, you can do what you want. You can ban fossil fuel tomorrow. And we have to all wipe our mouth. We have to put our car down and not drive it again because, hear what? It's going to destroy our lives, yeah? You put it, and then everyone can like trade in or what scrappage scheme or whatever to go and get yourself an electrical car or a little pay down on an electrical car or whatever. You understand me? Some kind of thing. So there's ways we can go without trying to like be environmentally friendly by moving the problem from one place to the other.
When you work as a group, you actually have much more power. You know, you have much more influence. You would be listened to. Yeah, that's probably something which will have to happen at some point.
When you organise a rally, Angela organised the rallies to go down there and speak about these things in a peaceful way, and people who had the opportunity to go down there and just stand up there and represent and make up the numbers, chose not to. And then the following day now, when they're getting £65 ticket because they turn left at the end of their road, they're complaining. I don't want no complaints. You get up and do something about it.
Get up and do something about
Yeah, you got to get up and you got to be counted. The people in Finsbury Park done it. They rose up and they took it down in Finsbury Park straight away. The people in Ealing done it. The people in Wandsworth done it. They took them down. If people in Lambeth want the LTNs down, you have to rally. You have to rally, you have to get up and go down there en masse, yeah? Right down to Jurassic Park, en masse, and let them see from the town hall how much people this thing's really affecting. They know it's affecting us all, but if we're not complaining, then nothing's gonna get done.